Okay, so I got a question requesting an update on what I think of the CyberloxShop wig and the Atomic Guys wigs and, you know, how things have been going with it. I can't remember the exact question or username because I didn't have a chance to like print it out, so hopefully I'll edit it in, but if I'm too lazy, I don't know, I'll link it or copy it into the description or comments or I don't know, chaos, whatever, we'll figure it out. Okay, I've just been filming something. I've had this on for maybe an hour and I am struggling. So there's your first update. I have never really, like, this goes for all of them, but I think for this wig in particular, my head, I never got around to really training my head to deal with things being there. I'm trying to now. I'm wearing a hat every day. I'm trying to get in, like, you know, doing skincare, trying to wear sun cream, trying to wear a hat, but the main motivation for me wearing a hat is to get used to all this stuff. So in terms of comfort, for me, I really need to take this off, so enjoy it while it lasts. I mean, I've filmed some stuff and you've probably seen it by now because it'll take me a while to get this proper video up, but I really need to take it off, so if you don't mind. And it's not just the wig so much, like, you know, that made a difference. Hang on, there's a whole process. Oh, I can probably just actually take that all off. When I put these on, I have to put this goggles down here. I have to put the spiky thing down here. Oh, actually, I did want to show you something. So I have to put the spikes down. And then this, so this goes on first, and then I put that up, and then I put the goggles up. I will say one thing, so the reason that I got this spiky crown, and I'm so happy CyberloxShop did it for me though, is because with their wigs, I don't actually like this crisscrossing thing. It just looks strange to me. Like, if they stick up properly, which, you know, they've fallen down a bit, like, it can give a kind of a cool effect, but it's just not a thing I'm into. If you're into that, that's fine, but that's why I got that. I'm just going to put this back up though, because for wig storage, I like to have it on there. So I can't actually remember what I said in my previous videos. I'm sure I was very bubbly and positive because I tend to be like that. But for being real, oh my god, my poor head. Oh, and it's not just, I'm not even free yet. I gotta take off this. Oh god. Oh, I have a head again. Whew. Anyway, so, you know, I wore that for about an hour. I'm hungry, which doesn't help, but, yeah, maybe a little bit more than an hour, and I'm just like, that's my limit. So I could probably get through a gig, although I would have to put it on at the gig to really survive. So, you know, I'm not at the stage where I can just, and, you know, I mentioned in my reply to the comment that I haven't actually done any performances with this one yet. Now, that's nothing to do with the wig. It's more just like my life circumstances and not getting a gig for ages because I don't know where to gig anymore in Sydney for the type of music that I do. I used to just do open mics. The one that I like, they're not around anymore, and I don't really know where I think, because like there are industrial gigs, but they tend to be more on the dance side of things is the vibe I get, whereas mine is more the song style of things. I think it's more, I would have to get in with the industrial metal crowd, even though I don't have any guitars. That's probably my best bet. I just haven't really got around to it though. Like, I did reach out to a few bands, but no one's ever said, hey, do you want to open for us? Which is sad. And I've had like a few people say, oh yeah, we'll do something, and then nothing ever happens. So I'm kind of like, shit, if I want a gig, I'm gonna have to organize everything myself, probably, or no. No, I'll figure it out. I get a little bit tired of organizing things because it's like I do all the organizing and then, oh no. And never mind social issues and my disappointment with humanity. Anyway, so yeah, I just haven't really gigged. I did one gig since the pandemic, and that was the Eternity one. Let me just hang this up. So I got this mannequin, someone was closing their store and I got it for cheap. Now, why is she facing away? Because, oh my gosh, there's so many things to update you on. Let me just put this back up here. I probably need to turn her around to actually, hang on. This is why I should just edit the shit out of things. Oh, and I've just like fucked up the crown, but that's okay. We'll do it the same way that we do me, right? Yeah, there's lots of components. Anyway, we'll go on like this, and then I'll pop on like this. Her head is a little bit smaller than mine. But yeah, I got it for heaps cheap because I just happened to be in the right place at the right time. They did try and sell me some more, but I'm like, I only need one. Now, I got this mannequin head because this wig is so heavy. There we go. Oh, aren't you looking pretty? This wig is so heavy that I had another one of these plastic hooks, but it was starting to warp it. So for storage reasons, like this is a really full wig, but also the way that they put it together is quite heavy. So, you know, those plastic hangers are not enough. You need a mannequin. Just find like a cheap secondhand one. It's fine. There we go. There she is. Now, the reason that I turned her around, okay. So if you remember, originally I had all my wigs hanging in my room. I moved them out because, like, you know, I got access to this space and I thought, oh great, nice space, I can have them on display, they're not going to be like feeling weird in my room. Also, being in my room, you know, it interferes with the light because, you know, they cast shadows. And, you know, having decent light in my room is sort of important for mental health, I feel. My head feels so much better. Yes, I have makeup on, but I didn't do my forehead because I don't want to get it messed up with the wig. So I don't know how much you can tell in this lighting. Yeah, no. So I moved them out of my room because I thought it'd be better here. You know, there's decent space. And at the time, I didn't need more space for clothes. I am sort of getting to that point where I'm running out of space for clothes, but, you know, that's a problem for future me. I do still have some drawer space, at least. Yeah, no, I just didn't want them hanging in the middle of my room, so I brought them in here and set it up, and it's fine, and it's nice. Like, yeah, the hangers that one hanger got warped, but the other ones are doing fine. The trouble is, in here, natural light, as in sunlight, and, like, I don't even have the lights on right now as I'm filming. This is just natural light. That's why it's, like, you know, not the best. Kind of nice and diffused, but, yeah, it's sort of fluctuating because it's been stormy here in Sydney as I'm filming. I don't even remember what day it is today. It might be the... have a look. What day is it today? It's the 17th of January, 2025. Yes, sunlight. And what I started to notice is some of the foam is starting to fade. You can't, it's fine, the yellow one's fine. Because, like, it's so bright, I haven't noticed any issues. I think I've noticed it most on the purple one, and the red one has ever so slightly faded. You don't really notice it that much, but I did work at a Kodak Express for a while where I did a bunch of color correcting, so I might be a little bit more sensitive to the changes in color than other people. Now, why didn't I move it out of this space once I realized, well, the damage has already been done, but I also figured, like, if they do fade, I'm an art wanker, right? Especially with this one. I'm like, I could get like some black spray paint or something, or black and red spray paint, and modify it a bit so we've got like a bit of a blood spatter look and a bit of a, like, I don't know, black dirtiness. Like, I could just go through and figure out a way to not completely destroy the vibe that CyberloxShop created for me, but I could personalize it a bit more. So that's why I didn't move it. I'm like, there's potential, and I could do the same for either of those if that happens as well. I could also just go over in, you know, yellow and purple paint if I want, but there's possibilities, so I'm not too concerned. But that is a thing. If you're going to store them, try not to store them where there's... I don't know if they get direct sunlight, because I don't check on here, but they definitely get daylight, and you're still getting your UV and whatever in here, so whoops! And then the only one that I've performed in is the purple one, as I said. That was at the Eternity Showcase. Now, that time, I got dressed at home and came in wearing that, and I just wore it the whole day because I thought, you know, I don't want to be fucking around with it in the mirror before the performance and getting stressed. It's probably a mistake because, like, by the end of the day I had such a headache, and yeah, taking it off at the end after I'd performed, and then putting it back, like, I took apart the hanger, and so I had it flat packed so that I could just, like, carry it home. But yeah, no, I should have just waited until I was actually at the venue to put it on. So there's a thing, like, for me, I'm getting these things to perform in, but for you, if you're just going to a club or something and you're going to wear it for hours, if you don't like wearing tight things on your head in general, like tight hats or headbands, you may not survive. I don't know. Now, my hat that I've been doing dog walking in is not too tight, so it's fine. But this one, like, because it has a bit of elastic, the wig cap, it is a little bit, like, even the wig cap is too much for me. As for comfort, like, in the comparison between them, I would say, personally, that the Atomic Guys ones are more comfortable. I mean, this, like, they're lighter, but also the way that they're put together, like, you know, with the, with these caps, like, they're kind of soft, and yeah, they've got the elastic, and you know, very easy to wear. I haven't really worn this one as much, but yeah, they're I think they're more comfortable. Whereas with the CyberloxShop one, I know I should be like facing the camera, so I'm sorry if the audio is a bit weird, but with this one, like, you know, with the sorry lady, I don't know how they've made this, but it's like some kind of, it's got a little bit of, it is elastic, but it's like 3 strips of big elastic sort of measured to my head because I sent in my measurements. So it's not like it grips tight, but it is stiffer. And then the whole thing is just heavier. And like, you know, the way that they've attached, oh, I don't know if you can see, there's like, you know, these things to, they've got these strips here. Oh, I'll just take the whole thing off. I don't know. Hopefully I showed it in those original videos. But it's sort of like, you know, it's got the crisscrossing, the 3 ones across that way, and then it's got individual ones that sort of form the cap. With the 3 that go across, like, they sort of diverge in position. It sits on nicely. It's just like, it's not as comfortable. It's stiffer. The whole thing is chunkier, but if you look at this one, like, there's not a whole lot of Cyberlox in comparison to the amount, like, the absolute amount of, like, this is heaps in here. This is the thinnest one that I have, followed by this one. This one's got a bit more in it, and then this one has the most. So if you like the really full volume stuff, like, CyberloxShop has it going. Atomic Guys does do custom though, I found out. It's just, well, maybe I already knew, but they are Italian, so I'm not sure how the English goes if you're trying to describe to them exactly what you want. But maybe you could show pictures and it'd be fine. Like, I've seen some of their custom work from following them and it looks pretty good. Has this one gotten all... The thing is, like, with these hangers, the hangers are annoying because they don't quite sit right. Like, it's designed for hats or something. Like, this one's fine, the Pin Punks bunny hat, but these ones, like, it's a bit awkward to sit them on there because they're different. But yeah, so, like, every now and then I think about, what if I asked Atomic Guys to do their take on my wig? That would be interesting to see, like, what would they come up with. I don't know how much thicker they do though, and important to note is, oh, can you see the difference in color here? There's like one that's faded and one that's not. Yeah, so that kind of, it looks slightly more blue, I guess, especially on the camera. And this is like a deeper purple. You can kind of see where some of the fading has happened. Isn't it? Try and... Yeah, so actually it's kind of interesting because it's starting to give it less of a uniform color and more of like this variety of shades in there. So I don't hate it. I don't hate it, but maybe you will. Yeah, so one thing, like, I mean, obviously Atomic Guys, they can put more stuff in there. So I've got, as like, you know, these guys have foamies and they have tubular crin, and like one thing I really like about Atomic Guys is they use one of those like pre-cut cutters, or like they use a machine basically to cut all the designs in it, and so that's why they get these very precise, like now that I've followed them on social media and they've shown some of their like process, you get these very precise shapes, and I really like that. Whereas CyberloxShop, they cut it all by hand. It's very time consuming. But that means, like, you know, it's not as precise. So if you're thinking about Cyberlox, like cyber being mechanical and you want that more machine-like precision, Atomic Guys is great for that. Thing is, they've only got foamies and tubies. With CyberloxShop, they've got foamies, they've got tubies, they've got these rubber strips. I know, come closer. so you can see. And then because they also sell other supplies, and I showed you before, but you know, they were also able to put in the dreads for me. Like, they can really customize to an extra level of detail. So yeah, like that's the rubber stuff. I mean, you could probably tie them in yourself to an Atomic Guys one if you really wanted, because like it's easy to see how these things are constructed once you're up close, and you could just modify bits and pieces. But yeah, so there's that. And then like, of course, CyberloxShop, they did this. And like the thing that I would struggle with is putting in the studs. I don't know, I think it's glued in, but yeah, I want to put studs on a few things myself. So anyway, that's a thought for future me. Anyway, so there's a bit more flexibility but a bit less precision is what I'm saying, I guess. Any other thoughts? I mean, I kind of love them all for different reasons. It's just a shame that my head hasn't quite gotten the hang of just like, you know, tolerating that tightness. I don't know if like I need to put on this more and just practice with tighter stuff, or I do have low blood pressure. I don't know if that makes a difference. Maybe it makes my blood vessels more squishy or something. I don't know. Maybe it's just bad luck, genetics or whatever. But so for me, that's my biggest problem. But I would say the Atomic Guys ones are comfier, but they're also lighter. And there's just, you know, they're different. It's hard to say which one's better in that kind of a sense, because like they have pros and cons. Like I love how full this is. It's just harder to wear, and it's the sort of thing that I would wear for performances, for photo shoots. Although if it was a long photo shoot or like a long video shoot, if I ever get to that, hopefully by then my head will be better. I haven't performed in that though. Like this one did last the performance. I think like what helps is having your cyber goggles. I think that does help keep it on your head, because you know, like they go on, but then you have that extra tightness to keep things going. Also got those. There was a period of time where I was walking around with the goggles a lot, but I just, you know, I've got mental health issues. I've had things pop up in life. Therapy's been pretty intense the last couple of years. I think this year things might be better. Just got to see how I go with some dissociation, but you know, in terms of depression, things are better. It's just like depression stops you from doing so much. And so to like get all made up, now that I'm sort of into makeup, or at least know how to do makeup, and you know, people are like, oh, good job. And yeah, I guess I just follow the process. I did experiment a bit today. Oh, in the short that I filmed about it, I mentioned experimenting. I did do the red and black ombre, which is a bit hard to see in this lighting, but I also like with the contour, instead of just bopping it on, I drew lines. And I was like, oh, maybe I did a bit too much, and I drew lines with the blush as well. And I wasn't going to use setting powder, but once I put so much contour on, it made me a little bit too dark, so the finishing powder helps lighten me up and make me more pasty goth again. Yeah. Setting spray. I did a huge amount of setting spray. Maybe I should go and eat something and see if this lipstick sticks anymore. I don't know, it probably won't. Anyway, no, so yeah, depression is the thing that sort of got in the way of me trying things, you know, wearing things to train my head, doing performances so that I have a chance to wear them on stage. Yeah, and like with the purple one, that was only for one song. Hopefully this one would be okay on stage, but I haven't even had any incentive to practice. Like, if I get a gig, you know, for the 2 weeks beforehand, I practice a lot, and I would probably also do like a dress rehearsal, not with makeup, but with the head thing, so that I work out like what dance moves can I do, because there are some lyrics. If you watch some of I have filmed some videos of my solo performance sets, and you know, there are certain lyrics where I will do certain movements, and I've got that all worked out for me without a wig. I would need to work out what works for me with a wig. So yeah, I know I'm rambling. I didn't promise a good video, but I hope that kind of helps with like, you know, the history of them, how I feel about them. I still like them. I wish I could wear them more. It's just like, you know, I also have a puppy, and I did let him watch me getting ready, putting this on, trying it on, and he was like, that looks like a lot of fun. And, you know, he did try and nibble at some of the tubies. But he's good. He was like, okay, that's a thing that you're doing. He smelled them a lot. But then he was really tired, so he sort of just lay down and was like, oh God, what are you doing today? He was probably worried that I was going out, because I don't usually do makeup unless I'm leaving the house. I should practice more though, because that would also make him feel less bad about me putting makeup on. Yeah, so, you know, having a puppy, I don't want them to get ruined because he like jumped up and grabbed them. The tubies are fine, they'll bounce back, but if he grabs a foamy and then I have chewed up foamy, and that's a bit harder to come back from, like I'm sure there's a way to sort of metal it up and repair it in a way that looks cool, but I don't want to have to do that. So yeah, that's a barrier, and also just the amount of time I spend with the dog. Yeah, I do have like an art event coming up though, so maybe I'll wear one of them, and I only have to wear it for 2 hours. I think I wore the purple one time. Oh, I might have done the yellow one, I don't know. I don't think I posted any photos though, so I'm not sure if I did. But I'll wear one of these. Maybe I'll wear the yellow one next. Although, if I get ins, because the next art thing, I'm putting my artwork in, and if my art gets in, maybe I will go all out and do the red one. We'll see, we'll see. But like, if I'm trying to train my head, I'd probably do the yellow one until I feel more confident to wear the red one to an event. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, no, it's just like those short events that I'm doing at the moment. And if I had to perform, I think I would just take it on a hanger or a mannequin, and then only put it on like in the minutes before going up on stage. Because also now I'm not doing violin, so like I don't have to set up all that extra stuff. It's just like I get up, I plug in my MP3 player, and then I go and then I perform. So I could just, you know, before I go up, go into the bathroom, chuck on the thing, get it looking nice, and yeah. Oh, another thing. I think, I'm not sure how the process, but Atomic Guys, when they print, you can ask them to print words on the foamies. And whereas with CyberloxShop, they wrote it on there by hand. And so again, if you want precise, Atomic Guys is the way to go. And I'll also just point out, I was probably more positive about this when I unboxed them. Because, you know, mood, and also I don't want to upset the people who made these, but so see how that overlaps? That annoys me. And so like at least it has a little dent and I can do it like that. And so I usually try and do that before I film something or take a photo. It's just kind of annoying to do it all the time. And also the placement, it doesn't always show prominently, and like I hardly ever see the ones at the back. The back ones are done a little bit better, it's just they hide at the back, which is, yeah, less good for taking photos. But oh, this one is the worst one. Just look at that, like the shape of the red foamy is great, but it completely covers that. And so if I hook that behind there, then you lose the epic shape of the foamy. So yeah, that's a thing. And then yeah, it is less precise than what I've seen Atomic Guys do. So that's some other stuff. Now, keeping in mind, I don't know if CyberloxShop might have upgraded the way that they do things. Like maybe they did decide, hey, hand cutting all this stuff sucks, let's get a machine. But maybe not, because, you know, I don't know, to get a machine that can handle volume is probably a pain in the butt. I kind of want to get one though. They have one at my local library, and I should really go and just like learn how to use it, and that'll probably cure me, because I also went and did they've got like a laser cutter, and we did like those wooden bookmarks, and I wanted to get like one of those laser cutters as well, but the one that I was interested in was like $10,000, and I haven't won the lotto yet, so yeah. Anyway, never mind me obsessing over different things. Anything else to say? I don't know, I hope that was a decent enough update, now that I don't have so much hair. The spikes, oh my god, just like this huge crown. I love the crown, so good, it works so well with it, and it hides that bit at the front that I don't like. Which, yeah, these guys don't have that, but then it kind of I don't know, you do need the goggles either way to just make them look right. Because otherwise, you know, you just have like the foamies coming down. You need something in the middle to just fill out that space. It's too bad I didn't feel like live streaming. Because I didn't know when I was going to do this, and it's only when I started getting ready and thought for this thing that I had to film, like, I don't know, you probably will have seen it by now. The thing that I had to film, yeah, it's only once I decided that I was going to go all out with the makeup and the wig and all that, that I thought, oh, I don't want to waste all that effort. I should also film something for YouTube, for my own YouTube. And so I didn't have time to let the commenter know. And in that case, I could have live streamed and you could have asked me live questions. But if there's anything I didn't answer, maybe we can set that up. I just probably won't have all the makeup and who cares. Anyway, I also just want to let you in on some secrets for filming. Okay, so like, here's my outfit. I mean, pretend I had the wig. I got my shirt because I had to promote my music, which I also did in my own short. This is the first time I'm wearing this because my chest felt bare, especially with the white. So chucked that on with the spikes instead of my regular spikes. Now, this thing obviously makes me think of Yu-Gi-Oh! I know it probably has some other meanings, but I think of Yu-Gi-Oh! And that whole saga. If you know, you know. Fade shirt, because I had to. Red and black. Got, you know, spikes. Things. Sick. And then, I don't know if I can get up on here. Hooah! Skirt! But under skirt, we've got floppy pants and Ugg boots. And because I was only filming from skirt up, no one ever sees my dodgy, lazy, I got some new lazy stay-at-home pants because my other black ones finally got a hole in the butt from me sliding around on the floor with Triton all the time. So these ones were from Uniqlo. They're only $30. They're really soft and stretchy and comfortable. I tried on 5 different pants there, and this is the one that I was just like, I was a bit worried I'd be thin because he chews his bones on me, but it's so comfy. Oh my god. And then Ugg boots my godmother got me. And so I did the newsreader thing where you're like presentable from the waist up, but then you're in lazy clothes underneath because no one sees it, so who cares? Anyway, that's some behind the scenes like YouTuber bullshit. I'm just gonna disappear because before I go on some other rant and this video ends up like an hour long, let's just make it fit under half an hour. Yeah, I'm not gonna edit this, sorry. Ah, crap, I do have to edit it because the beginning's fucked.
Hey, so I got a question to...